Among the more famous episodes of Parshas Shelach, the Chet HaMeraglim, the mitzvos of Challah and Tzitzis, are tucked away in just a few psukim, an entire story. And it's a story that I think we often fail to focus on. Perhaps we miss it entirely, but it's very significant and very difficult to understand. As a result of the negative report of the Meraglim, the Jews were told that they would not immediately be able to enter the land of Israel. Yom LaShana, for each day that the spies went out, they would have to wait another year. 40 days, 40 years in the Midbar. It was a tragic moment for all these people in the Midbar, and for the Jewish people it left a tremendous impact. And then the Psukim tell us, they were mourning. It was tragic, so hard. And the people thrust into that state of mourning, the Torah tells us, the next few psukim are something which is absolutely shocking. They woke up in the morning, they went up to the top of the mountain saying, we're going to go up to the place where Hashem has told us to go, Ki chatanu, for we have sinned. Moshe says, why are you going against what Hashem said? You're not going to be successful. Al ta'alu. Don't try and go up. Don't go against what Hashem has told you, because you're not going to be successful. Hashem is not with you. You're not going to be successful. You're going to fall to the sword. Because you have turned your backs on Hashem. And they went anyway. And they did not have Moshe, they didn't have the Aron, they didn't have Hashem's presence with them, and they were summarily defeated. In Chazal, it's known as the tragic story of the Mapilim, the people who went up anyway. When Hashem said no, they said we're going to go. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Why would they go? Moshe told them they're not going to succeed. So you'll say, well, maybe they weren't Maminim. They weren't believers. It certainly doesn't sound that way. How did they introduce the story? We're going to go up. Why? Ki chatanu. Because we know we sinned. What was the tragic error that they were making? And perhaps you can explain that in the aftermath of the Meraglim, it was a terribly depressing time for the Jewish people. The goal of reaching the promised land immediately from leaving Egypt is going to be delayed, and this generation will not make it. It's going to be transferred to the subsequent generation. They were broken. As they themselves indicated, we know we have sinned, we know we're not worthy. But they wanted la'alos. They wanted to go up. They wanted to try and bring chizik to Bnei Yisrael. Everything is not over just because we sinned. They knew that tshuva is possible. It is a gift. It is a power that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us. That even when we make mistakes and we have fallen, we can get back up and we can rise. We can go up. La'alos. So they strengthened themselves, af al pi, even though they knew that there was a sin that took place. And they decided that we can still achieve the goal of reaching the promised land as long as we turn towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Never did they think that they could succeed without God's help. They knew full well the role that the Anani HaKavod, that the clouds had in being part of their battle and their success. They were fully cognizant, though, that when you turn to Hashem with full ratzon, you're not denied. Everything is going to be okay. And there is a process of tshuva. Moshe told them explicitly, you won't succeed. Hashem is not with you. And they interpreted that as in our current state, we have to have more passion. We have to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In our current state, no, but we can change that. We can shift. Let's change the reality, and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will change the plan. Why would they think that? Because that's been their existence in the Midbar. We have no food, Hashem provides. We want meat, Hashem provides. Water? No problem. They lived a life of closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that what they need and what they desired was fulfilled, even miraculously. If you reach out to Hashem with a strong enough desire, you're not denied. In a certain sense, it's true. There's a tremendous koach and power that our tefillah, that our ratzon, that our turning to Him has. But sometimes, as much as we have and desire something, Hashem has something else planned. And that was their mistake. Here Moshe told them, what you desire is against the will of Hashem. And that's where things change. That was their tragic error. They conflated what they thought was best for them with what HaKadosh Baruch Hu had decided that's best for them. Yes, there's room for tshuva. And yes, you should respond to an error, to a mistake by coming close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But I'm telling you, Moshe says, you're not going to enter the land. And it was that inability to understand, to know where to draw that line, that sometimes the answer is no. And it doesn't affect our emunah. Just same way that a parent will sometimes, even when a child desperately wants something, realize that it's the best for the child to say no. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sometimes says no. But the lesson of the Mapilim is that there is a tremendous power to our tefillos, to drawing close, and that we should try. We have to know that there are limits, but it's the power of our tefillah. That is where it was coming. It was coming from a good place. They just made an error. And hopefully, if we interpret the positive aspect of Napilim, of the desire, even when we fall to get up and to rise, and hopefully we'll continue to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and also be zochel la'alos, to be able to go to Eretz Yisrael.